Will it come to a point when owning a property and having property is not the great thing we all think it is now? I was thinking this the other day, and the space between the price of properties and people being able to purchase properties is getting wider and wider and wider. And because of the sort of financial situation, again, all interest rates are gone up, which means most of your properties are on interest-only mortgages if you rent properties out, so that's all gone through the roof. But we all think, oh great, well we've got properties, we own properties, and they're worth such and such a money. Great, we've got that money. But if you can never sell that property, you've never got that money. And if it comes to a point where, great, your property's going up millions, up and up and up and up, but there's no one at any point to buy that property because the space is getting wider and wider and wider and wider, and people, the next generation that's coming on, can't even get close to buying a property, then is that property really worth the money you think it is? Because my view is, when I looked at this, my view is this: your property is worth what it is because the bank wants it to be. Because banks lend money mostly in the property sector, so they want your property to be a certain rate, so that their money is covered. So the reason why the property market is so high is for banks, so the banks can cover their own sort of loans, so they can cover their own asses. But it's going to come to a point, I believe, where yes, on paper your property is going to be pumping and pumping, and you go, oh great, but when it ever came to be able to sell that property, will you actually at some point be able to sell that? Will there be people to buy that? Will there be people in a financial situation to be able to rent that? Will the space become so big? But on paper it looks great. But when it comes to actually, getting, not just talking about having everything on paper, but actually having some of that for money in your own experience, will the gap be so wide that you can't actually ever have that? You can't actually ever cash in that thing that looks great on paper because there isn't a market to buy it anymore, because the space between how much they've inflated the property prices and the people that have the finances to buy it is so watered down, and the space is so far apart that you haven't got the people there to buy it. Therefore, it looks great on paper, but therefore, really, is it worth that at all? I would say no. Have a beautiful, beautiful day.